My message is that let's get back to work. Let's get back to living. Let's be smart about it. And those of us who are 70 plus, we'll take care of ourselves, but don't sacrifice the country.
Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick is taking a lot of criticism for the comments he made on Fox News. Patrick said older Texans like himself are willing to risk dying from COVID-19 if it means saving the economy for future generations. The comments brought out a lot of angry responses from people saying we should not prioritize the economy over human life. But Patrick's also getting a lot of support as people continue losing their jobs amid the coronavirus shutdown. Our Alex Caparello took a closer look at those comments and the long-term impact for the economy.
Whether it's a sign, roadblock, or citywide order, there's a number of barriers preventing Austinites from spending. That notion has the lieutenant governor pushing to get back to business.
As a senior citizen, are you willing to take a chance on your survival in exchange for keeping the America that all America loves for your children and grandchildren? And if that's the exchange, I'm all in.
His plan is just crazy, and it's ridiculous that he would even say something like that.
Can you see how the lieutenant governor's comments might have been shocking to people?
So, look, a 2 or 3 week economic shutdown, I think we can handle. If it's 2 or 3 or 4 months, or even 9 months, that's going to be very, very hard to come back from. I think that's basically the message the lieutenant governor is trying to convey.
A months-long shelter-in-place will cost Austin's economy billions of dollars. Experts predict the unemployment rate could skyrocket to 30 or even 40% in some sectors.
Experts say the hardest hit is going to be the hotel, restaurant, and tourism industry. Despite that damaging financial forecast, economists say the best thing for you to do to help your city recover is just by staying put.
This is going to be one of the first cities to recover.
With social distancing measures in place and a stimulus bill on the way, Austinites have a chance to make this crisis as painless as possible.
Listen to what the government authorities are basically saying. Stay home. Hopefully this is going to be temporary.
Alex Capriello, State of Texas.
Thanks, Alex. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick held a teletown hall the day after he made those comments, and he did not back down, saying that people need to get back to work sooner than later.
We cannot shut down the country for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. I mean, it would be a total disaster. Even 60, 90 days will be an economic collapse, which can then lead into, social society breakdown.
President Trump said he hopes that the nation will be back to work by Easter. That's just 2 weeks away. This week, our Anna Wernicke spoke with Vice President Mike Pence, who leads the nation's coronavirus task force, about what he expects to come next.
Do you think Easter is a realistic timeline to get back to normal?
Well, so much of that depends on the American people. The most important thing that we can do for our economy, the most important thing to put this behind us is to prevent the spread of the coronavirus.
And Mr. Vice President, Americans are worried right now, understandably. How do you tell the single mom who's just been laid off and has to pay rent next week that it's going to be okay?
Well, I want to tell any American that's been laid off or lost their job or is worried about a paycheck that help is on the way. It's going to speed financial support directly to American families and directly to small businesses that employ people all across this country.
That was Anna Wernicke reporting. Medical experts say that lifting the restrictions too soon could have devastating and even deadly consequences, and those risks go far beyond senior citizens.
It's important for young people to know you can get this disease, you can be hospitalized from this disease, you can die from this disease, but most importantly, you can spread it to your loved ones. And so we need you to really lean in.
Surgeon General Adams said that more people need to take the stay-at-home message seriously to keep the virus from spreading. Not everyone is following the guidelines. In Austin, we saw groups of people gathering outside Barton Springs Pool and the park. That has some people asking why the city isn't doing more to enforce the stay-at-home rules. Austin Mayor Steve Adler said it's up to everyone to follow and enforce the rules.
Those orders have the capacity to have someone fined or to have somebody put in jail. But as a practical matter, this is not something that we could ever truly enforce to the degree that would be necessary for this to actually work. This is something we're going to have to enforce among ourselves. This is something that we as a community are going to have to want enough so that we police ourselves and so that we remind others around us who might not be noticing that this should be top of mind.
Adler said the city has seen some success with self-enforcement. He pointed to the city's order to have people stay 6 feet apart at groceries and other stores. Adler says that has been working largely because of efforts of businesses and the general public, not law enforcement.